and I'm a student at Rice. I'm studying anthropology, and this is the coalition for the Student Coalition for a Just and Equitable Innovation Corridor. I'm here as a Rice student because the returns on the capital generated by the Innovation District funds directly my education, and which I'm very thankful for that, and for the job Rice Management Company does very well to fund that education. That also means I'm directly connected to the effects of this development on people, on communities, so that's why I'm paying attention to what happens here. So I just want to explain a little how the Student Coalition got together. We're made up of students from Rice University, Texas Southern University, University of Houston, UH Downtown, HCC, Houston area high schools, as well as organizations including Rice Left, Rice Creative Society, the Rotaract Club of Houston Innovation Corridor, Rotaract of University of Houston, TSU NISB, and TSU Computer Society. So these conversations among us have started almost a year ago in organizations like Rice Left that attended feedback sessions hosted by, organized by people like Station Houston to come to Rice to hear student feedback. So we brought up these conversations there, and they've continued throughout the year. And we've picked up more and more perspectives through student newspapers, through reaching out to friends and to strangers. And we've had so much help from mentors who have generously shared their knowledge and their expertise with us, and we're standing on shoulders learning from them how to build better futures. So, the Coalition's goal is to hold the Innovation Corridor's leaders accountable to the interests and concerns of local vulnerable populations with historical, ongoing, and future connections to this area. What we're concerned about is the patterns of gentrification, of food deserts, the affordable housing crisis, and underemployment, and the displacement, erasure, and criminalization of homeless, transient, housing insecure, and working class populations. The reason we're concerned about these specific patterns is because that's the legacy of economic development and of America's white and ableist economic power structure, where terms like progress and the next frontier signify to these communities that they will be disrupted and left behind. So, as we're seeking to build this new innovation economy, we're calling for Rice Management Company, Station Houston, Houston Exponential, the Greater Houston Partnership, and all of their partners in the Innovation Corridor to both intentionally act to reverse these patterns and to protect against the unintended consequences of development that might perpetuate these patterns. So we know that Station Houston holds inclusion very close, and so we know that built into the very language of things like the Innovation Task Force and of Station Houston is a focus on equity and inclusion, and we recognize this and feel it's very important, but we also know that inclusion is about representation in these spaces, and it's not the same as reparation and justice for the deliberate harm of racialization, criminalization, debilitation, and displacement, which America's economic power structure has engineered. We have to imagine and build new structures that reverse these patterns, and we're looking to organizations like Emancipation Economic Development Council, like Houston Community Land Trust, that actively is already doing this work. We're thankful for the steps Rice is taking to extend Fiesta's lease, and we also know that the future grocers, retail, housing, businesses, and green space that go up in the area will signify, these things that are built will signify who this development is really for. Specifically, we're requesting that Rice Management Company and the collaborators sign a community benefits agreement with affected communities, and that's communities plural, which includes Third Ward, and also must include the homeless and transit populations. An example of the community benefits agreement is what TxDOT has been doing with Independence Heights, and so Legal Lone Star Aid is working to make that happen, so that's just a parallel example. We also want Rice Management to commission a racial impact study. We are aware that they already have certain studies going to examine the populations here and how their development will affect that, so we'd like to know more about who's conducting the studies and what they will mean. We also would like them to continually meet with the Student Coalition and affected communities on their own terms, and we appreciate the steps that they've already taken to do that. We've met with Rice Management and Station Houston, and we're very aware of the steps they have taken and are taking to engage and partner with communities. We hear their message of centering equity, and we hope this is reflected in all messages to the public and inside the groundbreaking and in private meetings. Throughout history and into the present, this engagement is not enough to have an outcome of real justice. And we know that engagement and partnerships alone must be accompanied by the return of wealth, income, housing, and healthcare, and community connectivity to the communities from whom that has been taken in the past. So I'm really thankful for my fellow students who each bring their individual wisdom and expertise and personal experience to this. So I'll hand it over now to Joseph from PSU.
That's Ed, the chairman of this Rotaract.
Yeah, it is the student.
Hey there, how you
Officer
doing?
Jerry Shepard, another Third Ward legend.
Yeah, he knows me.
Yep.
Good to see you, officer.
Good seeing you as
Yes,
well.
sir.
Hello. Can you hear me? I will. What's like America?